The howling wind flurries through the jagged peaks of the Shardspire Mountains. A passing airship parts the clouds to reveal a secret village nestled in the mountainside.
Hey folks, I'm Sebastian and this is the atmosphere guide for the windswept location of Galewind for you Dungeon Masters. Now, Galewind is a successful Kickstarter by Phoenix Foundry, and they were nice enough to send me some 3D models to 3D print. That said, if you have your own mountainside village complete with whooshing airships and floating islands, then stay tuned for some high-flying atmospheric effects to help increase immersion at the game table. Right now I'm printing something special to tie in with this environment, so stay tuned to see how it comes together during the video. The peaceful village of Galewind is set high in the mountains with the wind and air being the main themes for the location. It keeps their machinery moving and the airships sailing through the clouds, so atmospherically, I'll start by focusing on the ambient sound like these from Michael Ghelfi. For general exploration, the windy hilltop ambience gets the presence of wind without being too overpowering. However, there are a couple of stronger windy ambiences if you want to ratchet up that effect. And the mountain village ambience is a good fit if we're bustling amongst the busy townsfolk. If you want to lean more into the theme of it being a peaceful settlement, then my peaceful playlist on Spotify creates a positive sense of exploration and intrigue. Now, Galewind has a protective veil of golden magic, so that's going to play into the lighting quite a bit. Now, you can use a variety of colored lights or smart bulbs, but here I'm using a bunch of DMX controlled lights for different washes of orange and greenish light, and highlighting it all with a golden colored spotlight up high in the corner to hit those high edges. Now, if you want to learn more about DMX lighting in particular, you can check out this video up here. Otherwise, these colors can translate to a variety of different setups. A bit of a secret tip, I rushed a lot of the paint job on these buildings to get them done in time for the video, but if your terrain has some great texture and detail like these, I like to focus on places of major contrasting colors or different finishes like metallic, glossy or matte surfaces. A basic paint job will show off wonderfully in some atmospheric lighting. Now we're trying to focus on wind effects. I have a few ideas on how to visualize and feel that in this setup. A lot of the terrain here has these little windmills and motifs to play into that theme, but to really drive it home, I've got some ideas for some extra touches. The first of which, being a bit obvious, is to use actual fans to blow wind. Like this fan I've got here, hooked up to a smart plug underneath. I can turn it off and on when needed, and that lets the players feel the cool breeze of the location. Now, I would try to give a bit of distance if you can, just to minimize hearing the noise, and if you have a little bit of room haze from a smoke machine, you'll see that movement on the air. If we wanted to shrink down that effect to terrain level, I've got some of these USB powered fans which are pretty quiet. Now, partnered with some humidifier fog like from this little portable one or the big reptile fogger here, you'll see the air moving across the terrain. In a location with lots of moving air, I thought it would be nice to have something that's dancing or moving mid-flight. So these were super easy to make with some fishing line and some paper, so as the wind blows from the fans, they're light enough to move around like realistic birds. Alright, just a little check-in here to see how that 3D print we started in the episode's going. Now, you can see it's a whole bunch of pieces here. Now, if you haven't guessed it, this is going to be from the HMS Phoenix airship from the Phoenix Foundry Kickstarter. Now, I personally don't have any airships, so I'm super excited to see how this one comes together later in the episode. The Galewind set includes a large variety of playable buildings and structures like the colossal sun tree if you have the space, so if you're curious, check out the links in the description to grab your own. Let's get back to the show. In addition to the town, Galewind is full of places of magical influence, from the Arunian crystals to the golden veil that protects the village and the wizards toiling away on magical artifacts. If the players enter an area of magical intrigue, this is a great opportunity to dim the lights to bluish, purplish hues, and something I've been liking recently for a great backdrop are these star galaxy projectors. Aiming them at the wall or ceiling creates a great backdrop or sky for your players. To give these magical places more impact, The Reverence Music playlist helps build a sense of wonder for those moments of ancient knowledge and magic as they unfold. All right, if you wanted to see how this came together, wow, now this is huge. Amazing. Oh man, I am super excited to run an adventure on this baby. Let's talk airships. Now, the HMS Phoenix is one of the centerpieces of the town of Galewind. It's the main importer and exporter and possibly the vessel of high-flying adventure for you and your players. As they step on board and chart their course through the clouds, the sailing airship ambience from Michael Gelfie will get the sounds of wind moving and wood creaking to make the experience more immersive. There's also an interior ambience if you're below deck, or even a storm version if things get more chaotic. Back at the terrain, we can use some earlier techniques of moving fog now to create the impression that the airship is moving forward. Another method is to use one of these colored wave lights set to white to add some more movement to the vessel. And finally, to drive home the high-flying adventure, have your players sail off to the action playlist featuring music from tabletop RPG music. Now, these videos wouldn't be possible without the love and support from my amazing supporters on Patreon. All the proceeds go towards the channel, giving me the equipment and materials to make more videos happen. A special shout out to my Seeker patrons, Anthony Von Olen, Blake Dale, Charisma on Command, Chase McAllister, Chris Andrus, Constructed Chaos, Dr. Justin L. Hamrick, John A. Johnson, Mini Wargaming, and Nathan Mack. If you have more ideas of how you can make these more exciting experiences at the tabletop, then let me know in the comments. For any equipment or music I've mentioned, I'll leave links in the description, and be sure to check out other Atmoseeker videos like these for more atmospheric ideas and terrain. Until next time, I'm Sebastian, and let's create and inspire.